Karen's audacity reached a dangerous and reckless level when the HOA confiscated my son's insulin at our front door, assuming that boldness, entitlement, and imagined authority could override parental rights and medical necessity. She believed her aggression and intimidation could bend reality to her favor. What she did not anticipate was that her audacious act would constitute attempted murder, leading to immediate legal action, arrest, and public humiliation. It began on a crisp morning when my son, reliant on daily insulin for his diabetes, was playing on the front porch. Karen, in her typical audacious fashion, approached with a few enforcers, claiming that the HOA had authority to seize illegal medical supplies. Her boldness was fueled by entitlement and prior successes in intimidating neighbors, and she assumed fear would compel compliance. Before I could react, Karen and her team snatched the insulin from my front door, ignoring both legality and the potential danger to my child. Panic set in immediately, as my son's health depended on that medication. I moved decisively, activating my security system to capture video evidence and immediately calling 911 to report the attempted confiscation. Karen's audacity, which she relied upon to intimidate, had now escalated to a life-threatening violation. I confronted Karen calmly but authoritatively, demanding the immediate return of the insulin. I explained that her actions were illegal and could result in criminal charges, including attempted murder due to endangering a minor. Her audacious assumption that she could act with impunity collided instantly with law, preparation, and parental authority. Karen attempted to argue that the HOA had the right to enforce community safety, but her claims were baseless and audaciously overreaching. The moment she realized the insulin had been tracked and that law enforcement had been contacted, her confidence faltered. The audacity that had allowed her to dominate neighbors now became the primary evidence against her. Police arrived within minutes, assessing the scene, documenting the theft of medical supplies, and confirming the life-threatening nature of her audacious interference. Officers interviewed witnesses, including neighbors who had observed her bold actions firsthand, further solidifying her criminal liability. Karen's audacious plan, intended to intimidate and assert control, had collapsed spectacularly under law and oversight. By mid-morning, Karen and her accomplices were formally arrested for attempted confiscation of life-sustaining medication, harassment, and endangerment of a minor. Her audacity, which she relied upon as a tool of manipulation, had entirely backfired, leaving her exposed, accountable, and publicly humiliated. The community, long familiar with her aggressive tactics, watched as her boldness collapsed under legal authority and moral accountability. Karen's audacious attempt to seize a child's insulin highlighted the reckless danger of entitlement and the limits of boldness when confronted with law, preparation, and moral responsibility. Reflecting on the incident, the lesson was clear: audacity, when applied recklessly against life, legality, or human safety, is entirely self-defeating. Karen had assumed that aggression and perceived authority could manipulate reality, but her reckless overreach ensured immediate consequence, legal accountability, and public disgrace. By evening, the insulin was safely restored, my child's health secured, and Karen's audacity had been transformed into documented evidence of criminal and reckless behavior. Cedar Pines residents absorbed a vivid lesson. Audacity without legality, preparation, and respect for life collapses spectacularly under law and accountability. Karen's bold attempt, intended to dominate, intimidate, and control, had failed entirely. Her entitlement, aggression, and reckless audacity had ensured exposure, arrest, and public humiliation. Her audacity, once feared, had become the instrument of her downfall, proving that boldness untempered by law and morality always leads to collapse.